Well, you didn't lose to Arizona either, right?
Anti-200, 2-0. Keep it going. I thought the whole idea behind us being successful was to stop J.J. Taylor. I think he had 46, 48 yards, something like that. Tate got away from us. Khalil got away from us a couple times. We weren't sure going into the week if they were going to let him ride it out, being it was his last game, and they did. The first third down and long that he converted, I mean, Tyler Johnson beat the tackle so fast. I think it surprised him, and it created a little gap between him and DJ, and he was able to make us miss. And that was my big concern coming into the game because, I mean, you watch him against everybody. I mean, he's hard to tackle and he's fast. And I thought a big play in the game was the third and I think it was 3rd and 6, and Lole and DJ chased him down the sideline and knocked him out of bounds and got the 3rd and 2, and then they went forward on the 4th and 2, and we got the stop. I thought the 3rd down was the bigger play. I mean, the 4th down is a big stop, but we gave the offense field position. But the 3rd down, getting him stopped short, those guys did a great job. We practiced all week. If he pulled the ball, you run straight sideways because if you get bad habits of trying to chase, and they were able to execute that. The last touchdown, I mean, man, it was Kearse-Thomas was out, Evan Fields was out, Kobe was out. I mean, we had a bunch of guys down, and we got some other guys to step up and make plays. We came after them a little bit early on in the series, and then the 3rd down, they completed a ball in zone. And then we went man, zone, man. The last one, I thought they were going to try and run the ball again, so we were in man-free coverage, and they run a corner out, and Evan was out. He got Tyler to step on Tyler, and they got the touchdown. And then our offense did a great job and ran the clock out with that last first down. You know, it was like a possessed man on that last drive. It was awesome. I kept yelling, man, just go down. Don't need to score. Just go down. And that's a little sign of maturity right there. He knew the situation and went down, got the first down, and we were able to run the clock out. I thought they played their tails off. I thought they played really hard. Wish we were holding them 7. The last one, a little bit. But, I mean, they got us on the screen and go in the first half. Evan was the deep middle guy. He played. He just missed the tackle. And, I mean, they got good players too. So I thought the guys played really hard, and we kept J.J. When J.J. Taylor gets going, they're really good on offense. And I think they ended up with 380 yards. But a lot of that was Khalil running around and throwing the deep balls. And he's a special player. It's what he does. So.
How surprised were you Ganell didn't play?
I was a little bit surprised just because of what they had done with the last 5 weeks, but it's not shocking because it's Khalil. They're not going to a bowl game, so that's his last game. Yeah. Everything he's done for that program. I mean, 2 years ago, he was the leading candidate to be the Heisman Trophy winner coming into the season. So it just goes to show you how skilled and talented he is. And my guess was that they would let him play the whole game. He didn't start last week, which was senior night, so I thought maybe they would still keep the rotation, but they put him in there from the beginning. They were going to ride him out, and he made some big plays, but they could never get the ball consistently going with JJ, and I thought that was the whole key to us having success on defense.
Because you were able to help keep it at 7-6 at halftime. Rob said they felt like they could come out and run the ball the second half, but what the defense did to
the third down stop down there in the red zone. We got the earlier drive. They moved the ball a little bit, and Jack made a great play. We were playing it for him. We were giving them a really, really big trouble with the difference between we were playing some zone and some man free, but they looked exactly the same. So they gave us on Merlin's interception. We were in zone coverage. They thought we were in man, so they run the tailback on an angle route. Well, if they'd run the flat route, he had us out leveraged, and we were in zone, but they ran it right in because they did a good job of disguising the look and threw it right to him, and Merlin was able to intercept it. Jack made 2 really good plays. I mean, the one that was an easy, like a punt. And he caught it, and I don't know what this nonsense is. He's standing there pointing, directing traffic like he's an air traffic controller, but I think he got 18 yards on the return, so I'll live with that. And then his the first one, though, was really good. And shoot 3 interceptions. That was what I kind of had anticipated. But that was a big stop. The third down was a big stop, and then he missed the field goal. And but being 7-6, and then you're right, the offense, they did a great job running the ball outside in the second half. It's hard to run the ball when they're in a bare front for the whole first quarter. If you run it outside, they did a great job. Was, like I said, was running with like a man possessed. It was awesome. It was awesome to watch. And then they scored. And then our offense did a nice job. They closed out the game. I mean, that the spot that they gave the first down, that was a great job run by him.
You spoke a lot about this rivalry and the history behind it.
Mm-hmm.
When that final clock hit 0, what are kind of the emotions that go through you as you watched everybody?
I thought the crowd was freaking awesome. That money they spent for those LED lights is pretty cool. I mean, that's a pretty good deal. It's a really big deal with recruiting. I mean, since ASU's become a university, we still have the edge in the series. And, I mean, people don't realize how big of a deal that is. But around here, I mean, all of a sudden the state legislature is sharing money between universities when it was all going down there. I mean, it's a huge deal. And it's really, really fun beating those guys because of all of throughout the whole Territorial Cup series, but then all the sports. Last year it ended up tied, and then we win based off of the Director's Cup points. We're off to a good start with our volleyball team sweeping them. We got the point for football. I mean, any chance that we can pull away from them, I think it's outstanding. Man, that anti-200 thing, it bothers me. I mean, I wasn't even here in 1958, and the more I read about it, so every time we can beat those guys, I mean, it's awesome. I mean, this week was a big week, and I think it was really good. When you beat the 6th-ranked team in the country, there's oftentimes you're going to have a letdown in your next game because either you think you're too good or just the emotional high that you have to get ready to play that previous game. And I think it helped that this game was the following week because there was no trying to get them up for the game. They got themselves ready to play on both sides of the ball. We had a pretty good scheme. They beat us in man coverage a couple times. They got us in zone on that last drive, but the key was not letting them get started with JJ. And I think JJ Taylor's really good. I mean, he's done a lot for them, and they'll miss those guys. But I was a little disappointed to see Gunnell because I think he's going to be a good quarterback in the future, and we didn't get to put anything on tape against him. But that's the direction they're going to go. So we'll see him next year.
As far as playing with passion over emotion, aside from Jack's little episode over there, I think the defense really.
They did. I thought they played really hard. I thought they controlled their emotions very well, and we made a big emphasis of that all week in meetings and in practice. Because this kind of a game can get chippy. I mean, you saw, if you watched the Auburn-Alabama today, we watched that at the hotel. If you watched the Mississippi State-Ole Miss the other night, I mean, those mistakes they cost you ball games. I mean, that cost Mississippi a ball game. So I was really proud of our guys for holding it in check. A couple times we did some nonsense over there on the sideline, and we were able to talk to them on the sideline, and we didn't get any penalties in that aspect of it. But I mean, getting that 7th win was huge against them too.
The guys that went out, those are not injuries that are going to affect.
Kalen's was his head, so Kalen and Evan were both their heads, so they'll be back for the bowl game. DJ's was a hip pointer. They x-rayed it. It was just a hip pointer, so I don't know if you've ever had a hip pointer, but he's going to have a hard time walking for the next 5 days. Just to lift up your leg, it's really sore. Now, if you're really tough, you can fight through it, so I told him in the locker room, we'll see how he is. Let's see, who else? We'll have all those guys back. I'm trying to think who else. Kobe's shoulder was dinged up a little bit. He'll be fine for the bowl game. Kalen will be fine for the bowl game. Chase, his hip was bothering him a little bit in the second half. That's why TaMarcus was in there. He'll be fine for the bowl game. Yeah, all those kids on defense I expect to play in the bowl game.
And Rob was saying how proud he is that you got to 7 wins with 2 freshman offensive linemen, freshman quarterback. I'm sure you would reinforce that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, especially on their side of the ball. I mean, you can't start 2 true freshman offensive linemen and be successful. I mean, honestly, you really can't. There's too much of a disparity for those guys in that position. It's just like Jermaine Lole being a positive enforcement last year. And I think Jermaine Lole is one of the best D linemen in the league now. I mean, he's leading our conference in tackles. I mean, he's a good player as a true sophomore. What Ladarius and Donovan did, and we didn't have Ladarius tonight, so Roy stepped up and played great. And then a true freshman quarterback, that's now it's starting to become a little bit more common. You're seeing it more than you did 15 years ago. But the speed of the game for those guys, I mean, Jaden Special, I said it last week, he's a chance of having a generational quarterback. So we got to continue to shore up the O-line. But with those 2 true freshmen playing, to get to 7 wins is it's really special. I'm proud of our guys, proud of the offensive guys. I think we're still going to make progress on defense. Didn't probably make as much as I had hoped. We made progress in a lot of areas, but we're still building this thing up. And I mean, you said it. Those three guys over there that started, they'll be a whole lot better for it next year. And we'll put them through spring ball. And there's a bright future around here. We got to get a couple guys to fill in some holes in recruiting, but things are on the up and up, and I'm excited for what we're going to do around here. Awesome. Go Devils.